as humans, we love you so much, but you are so action-oriented. You're not human doers, you're human beers. You're human beings, not doings, but it feels to you, and we get why, because you can pick stuff up and move it around, and you can see the evidence of your action. So you have given yourself a flawed premise that that's the way you make your world go round, when really what you do is you live in it and you choose from it and you ask for more than it has in moments in time, and then you line up with that new asking. But it's tricky for humans because you're not very good at lining up with what hasn't happened yet. You want to line up with what you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, and that is minuscule in comparison with what's underway. So almost every action you take before you're really lined up, that motivated stuff that you try to make yourself do, it's counterproductive. It holds you back. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would launch the rocket. We'd do our best to dream about it and find the good feeling place of it. This might help you. This hatched in Esther's mind this morning as she came out of meditation, most likely in preparation for this conversation. She thought about it the other day. She's been thinking about it, but it was the first thing that came to her mind today. Esther likes order in her life. Doesn't always accomplish it, but she likes it. And she remembers when she was little, hearing, her mother didn't practice it, but she heard it. A place for everything and everything in its place. So Esther has learned about herself that first thing she always does when she gets into a hotel room is decides where things go. Jerry used to say, oh, you're nesting. She made the place workable for her. A place for everything and everything in its place. So she decided where she wanted it to be, put it there, and then ease and flow happened in terms of that aspect of her life. So it occurred to her as she's coming out of meditation, this vortex is like that place for everything. It's like what you're putting there incrementally. Someone's rude, you put nicer relationships in there. Not enough money, you put more money in there. A diagnosis that you don't like, you put replenishment and well-being in there. In other words, you've been doing it without even knowing you've done it. But we're telling you it's a place for everything. But now what you want to do is know that it's there and then find a way to line up with what's there rather than struggle with the parts that don't fit and try to make them fit, because you activate whatever it is you're thinking about. So when you activate the I don't know what to do, I've got so many options, I don't know which way to choose, I don't know which way to go, you can tell by the overwhelmment or the frustration or worse that you feel that you are working against yourself. So in that situation, we would back way off from the feeling of need to act yet, because it's too soon. You want to line up with what's there, and when you line up with what's there, just even in general terms, you'll get ideas, and the idea will be a really good one. The idea will be a really good one. It might not take you all the way home to where you thought you wanted to be, but it'll cue you up for the next really good idea, and the next one, and the next one. We could give you a whole lot of what would feel like simplistic examples. But the other day, Esther was looking in her, where'd everybody go? The other day, Esther was looking in her, she has a relatively new house, and the dining room, she just sort of put things there that had come with her before, and it wasn't really pleasing her. And she's been saying for a long time, I need richer, darker rug on that floor and a bigger one. She's just saying that for a little while. So the other day, a friend was with her. She got an impulse to go to a place where she often finds rugs. And she was prepared to do it, and she was prepared to spend a lot of money for it, because the place she goes, that's what those rugs cost. And she likes those kind of rugs. But she had a little mixed energy about it, but mostly she really wanted that rug. But she really had mostly she really wanted that rug. And a rug, she didn't know, she just thought if she went there, she would be likely to find one there. So they're rolling down the freeway, and they take the exit, and it's one of those things where they're on the frontage road and they loop around, and the rug store they're going to is on the other side of the freeway. And as they went by, here's a store that Esther has been at many times over the years, going out of business sale. And Esther said, ooh. And then she went, ooh. And then she went, ooh. You know the feeling. Should I stop here? Should I not? Should I stop here? Should I not? The impulse was really strong. Her friend was driving. She turned really scary into the parking lot, and they went in looking for whatever was in there. Well, there wasn't much in there that looked very good. In fact, Esther thought, I've been in this store before, and this doesn't look like the stuff that's usually in this store. Going out of business. Maybe they went and got a whole bunch of other businesses that were going out of business and it's not bought them there, but it felt a little weird to Esther. But there was a woman that came to Esther. So what we're saying to you, and you can all hear it, Esther was not in a pure, positive place. Can you feel it? She was sort of waffling all over the place. Should I? Shouldn't I? Good store, bad stuff in it. But a woman came up to her and she said, can I help you? And Esther said, no, I was on my way across the way. I'm looking for a really nice rug. And she said, we have rugs on sale. Esther said, oh. And Esther said, well, I'm really looking for a really good rug. And she said, we have really good rugs. And Esther thought, sure you do. And she said, no, really, come with me. So she took Esther back. And you know what? They had some really good rugs. They had really good rugs. They had piles of really, 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 really good rugs. And Esther said to the nice man, it needs to be big. And he said, the biggest I have is, and Esther said, that's just what I'm looking for. And he said, I've got 3 of them standing up over there. And Esther walked over, and even though the rug was turned inside out, folded in half, wrapped up with a cord, turned inside out, Esther said, I want that rug right there. And when he laid it out, Esther really, 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 really liked that rug. She really, 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 really liked that rug. So what are we describing to you here? Mixed emotion, you all have it. More this way than this way, though. More this way than this way. Now, a rug and the ability to buy it, that doesn't sound like very powerful creating. But when you're busy and you don't have a lot of time, and the perfect rug is in a place that you were never going to go, but you got the inspiration to go to that place because your inner being knew that the rug you were looking for was in this place, and your inner being knew that the route that you would take would be this way because that's the way your inner being guided you to take the route, and your inner being knew that the rug was over there. In other words, your inner being knows where everything that you want is in relationship to where you are. And your inner being does not expect you to first crack out of the box, go right to what you want. Your inner being will guide you because your inner being knows and adores you that it is natural that you would have resistance. But your inner being still knows what you want and still calls you. So when you've got strong dread about something or strong concern about something, that means your inner being really, really, really knows that you really, really, really want something, and your inner being is really, really, really full-time gathering up the cooperative components for that, and you're feeling the call, but you're not going. Because you think, like so many people still think, that you've got to earn it, or you've got to prove it, or you've got to do it, or you've got to work it, or you've got to do the action in it. You're not quite ready to just let your inner being say, you pointed over here and we lined it all up. Come on over and get it, you worthy, blessed being. If confusion is coming to you, it's because usually you're trying to consider too many things at once, but most often it's that you've tuned your guitar and you haven't, and you've tuned it and you haven't, and you've tuned it and you haven't. And when you're playing a guitar that isn't tuned, it doesn't feel so good, and it doesn't sound good either, does it? Enough, or you want to get more specific? Everything we're saying is helping everyone. We're laying the platform, but...
Very quickly, if you don't know what you want, but you have a strong desire to act,
well, that's
then
just
how
dumb.
could you find the wrong rug?
That's just dumb. If you don't know what you want and you have a strong desire to act, then you're being called by a bunch of negative marbles that have got a lot of momentum going.
Roger that.
You'll hear more as we're moving forward. You satisfied? Yeah. Really good. Roger that.